The family, Byard, Mel, and Richard Fox, own and run Bitterroot Ranch hands-on. It is a working cattle ranch and guest ranch. The ranch has been open to riding guests since 1971. Multiple log guest cabins and the main lodge are situated on either side of the east fork of the beautiful Wind River that runs right through the ranch. At a slightly higher elevation atop the plateau was a wonderful sight. Over 150 horses, grays, blacks, bays, and sorrels, grazing serenely in their high pasture, bathed in the warmth of the early evening sun. We had been looking forward to seeing Bitterroot Ranch since Tom first met and interviewed Byard Fox in Virginia about his other business, Equitours, which offers horseback vacations around the world. Byard and his family have literally taken guests riding all over the world, but when Tom changed the subject and asked him about his home at Bitterroot Ranch, emotion overtook him for a moment, and his love for this place touched us all. We had to come here to see it for ourselves.
We're at 7,500 feet with the magnificent views of the mountains in every direction, those snow-capped Wind River Mountains. And to the north, nobody living for 50 miles between us and the first ranch on the Cody side, and below us 17 miles to the nearest highway. One of the great things about that is that I can ride all day and never see another person or really any signs of civilization. And it's very varied terrain, and even after 35 years of riding in that country, I'm still discovering new places in a day's ride.
Remote, unspoiled beauty is in every direction. You can ride out in any direction from the ranch and probably will not ride the same trail twice over your week-long stay. Byard, Mel, and Richard are personally involved in all aspects of their ranch. Mel is a certified riding instructor, and all three still personally guide some of the rides at the ranch. Jacinth Moreau from the Intervet Corporation came to ride with Tom, as well as Donna and Anzi Culbertson from Tennessee, who have been riding with Tom all over America for many years and helped scout locations for our show. When Byard and Richard took them riding in the higher wilderness areas, they all agreed this area in Wyoming has to be one of the prettiest places in the country.
It was just so beautiful and so peaceful, and just a non-stressful experience, an easy ride but with amazing views. When we had lunch under the trees and Richard was serving us the sandwiches and all of that, and I was looking at under this tree, and it was just amazing. And then I went alone to have a look at the view, and I sat on this tree and I was just looking, and I could have stayed there for the entire day. And after that we left that place and we went to a different portion of the trail not 5 minutes away from where we had lunch, and the view was completely different. So it was being in another country, in another place, but 5 minutes away from where we were. So that was just amazing, just a very nice ride.
You're a world-class rider. We aren't. Do you mind taking people who haven't ridden much before? It doesn't bother you a bit, does it?
No, you know, the glorious thing about riding is it's wonderful for anybody. And I love, the thing I love the most is coming back from a ride here to the corrals, looking back and asking people how the ride was, big smile on their faces. You can see it was one of the best days of their life. And that's really a great feeling.
Riders typically go out on trail rides after breakfast and again after lunch each day. For the more adventurous guests, Bitterroot Ranch offers pack trips into the wilderness. Byard, Richard, and Mel pack in all of the supplies you will need, including some very wonderful meals. The scenery is spectacular, the air is clear, and the wildlife is abundant. Terrain varies immensely with old-growth forests, rocky ridges, alpine meadows, all the way to wind and water-eroded areas that resemble the Badlands of South Dakota, and even the surface of the moon. The ranch is located adjacent to the Shoshone National Forest. 50 miles of wilderness and unspoiled beauty lie between the ranch and the borders of Yellowstone National Park. You rarely see another human being riding in this area. This is also the summer pasture for the cattle at Bitterroot Ranch. Guests are invited to help out when cattle need moving from different pastures. The job is still done by horseback, and it was a memorable experience for our group that assisted Mel and Richard moving a small herd to the plateau for hay.
Have you ever driven cattle before?
It was my first time. Quite an experience.
As we ride along here, what are you thinking?
I was just thinking that I'm blessed. I'm being so lucky to be here with you.
Whether you like to ride or not, it is an awesome sight watching the large herd of horses come into the corrals at Bitterroot Ranch each morning. Horses are pastured on a high plateau above the ranch, referred to as the bench. Early each morning, as the first rays of sunlight illuminate the snow glaciers on the faraway Wind River mountain range, wranglers herd the horses down the switchbacks into the corrals below to begin their riding day at the ranch. Any level rider is welcome here. Mel Fox is in charge of the riding program. She evaluates each guest and has a tremendous talent for matching the right people to the right horses. Having raised 2/3 of the horses at Bitterroot Ranch, Mel knows them very well. Riders are first evaluated and then divided into small groups of similar riding ability, so the more experienced riders will not be held back, and the less experienced riders will not be challenged beyond their experience level. Safety and fun is important for Bitterroot's guests. In addition to trail riding, the ranch also offers riding lessons from certified instructors. For the more advanced riders, they even have a jumping course with over 60 obstacles. They are very serious about offering good riding instructions at all levels at the ranch. On special weeks during the season, well-known instructors will be at the ranch for a full week of specialized instructions. Donna Snyder-Smith, world-renowned instructor and author, was holding clinics on centered riding while we were visiting at Bitterroot Ranch. Donna has been a professional in the horse industry for over 45 years. She told Tom what she enjoys the most about her work is being able to pass on what she has learned about riding and about horses to others so they can enjoy horses as much as she has, and horses have a better life.
I think if people would say about me that I made horses' lives easier, I would be happy.
People like Donna who come through are inspiring, and you practice what they're teaching. And that, to me, is what riding's all about, is building on your knowledge.
The Fox family have been hosting guests here at Bitterroot Ranch for 36 years. As we travel America, it is gratifying to meet people like Bayard and Mel Fox, who are so passionate about horses and the land, and don't mind working very hard, devoting a lifetime to what they believe in. And meeting young men and women like Richard Fox, who are willing to continue the hard work of their parents to keep alive their spirit and passion for preserving and sharing this beautiful place with others. Their log cabin accommodations are rustic but very comfortable, and the food was some of the best we have ever eaten. The people, the horses, the wildlife, and the sheer beauty. Bitterroot Ranch truly represents the best of America.